Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Lolo for those of you who didn't already know. So, story time. And this one is literally about how I destroyed my passport to catch cruise for the rocks, for the vibes, just so I didn't have to go to work. Yeah, it was a very childish, immature, living life on the edge, living la vida loca like moment for me, and I was like, I just want to go on holiday. So yeah, I had to destroy my passport because the lie I told just didn't pan out for me, and it just, yeah, it was gonna end up really bad. So anyway, if you're interested in this story time, grab a cup of tea. I'm gonna do my makeup and let's get chatting. So I don't even really know where to start with this story because every time I think back at it, I just think, wow, Temiloloyoung. Is it really that deep? Is it really that deep? So anyway, what had happened was, so basically, this is the true part. I have like a dislocated jaw, and I mean, I won't say it's dislocated, but like it pops, and I actually need to get it sorted out. So I might need to have like a surgery or something, I don't know, but my jaw pops, and it makes like a clicking sound, and it was getting a point where it got to a point where it actually was a bit painful. So my mom was going to London and she was like, okay, you know what, why don't you come and get it sorted out once and for all, because we'd heard so many stories of leaving it unattended and you get older and it affects your jaw and your dentation and arthritis and things like that. So I was like, okay, cool. So obviously at the time I was working at my 9-to-5 job. Now the backstory about this job is I love the job, and it paid me really well. Like if not for that job, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things I'm doing today. Like it paid me more than I thought I would ever earn as a young person. So that was really why I stayed at the job. But I don't know, it was weird because the company I worked for, like and so I just found like a lot of things were like happening behind closed doors. Like I wasn't really like learning as much as I thought I would learn. And I just felt like I was falling behind. I would go to work some days and not really have anything to do and just sort of like be twiddling my thumbs and sitting there. And it wasn't as if I could like go and do other things while I was there. Like they needed you there from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. every single day. Like you couldn't go anywhere. So that was really affecting me. So that's the backstory to the job. Anyway, so I went to my boss and I was like, look, you know, I wanted to take my leave. Do you mind if I take my leave? Blah, 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 blah. And I explained what I was going to London for. Now, bear in mind, this is like in the middle of the summer holidays. Courts aren't seated, I think, at the time. And basically, my office was like super quiet. Like my boss was going away for the summer. Like he wasn't even going to be around. Like, I don't know how to explain my work environment, but like the office was basically going to be dead. So I was like, okay, perfect time for me to go and try and sort this thing out. So I asked him, I was like, okay, is there anything I'm going to need? Is there anything I'm going to need before I go or to bring when I come back? Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no, it's cool. Just do your thing, take your time. So I get to like the hospital, clinic or whatever. I finally get to London and I go for my appointment, and they basically tell me to try some exercises first for a period of 4 weeks. That I should try those exercises every day for 4 weeks, and then if it doesn't work in 4 weeks, that I should please come back. But their mandate is to make me try this exercise for 4 weeks. Now bear in mind, I'm coming from Lagos, so it's like, oh, 4 weeks, like what am I supposed to do within this 4 weeks? I'm not gonna fly back to Lagos, pay for a ticket, like, you know, and then need to come back and pay for that ticket again. So I was like, nah fam, not happening. So I was like, okay. So I had taken like indefinite leave, obviously, from my office because I didn't know how long this process was going to take. And I had explained this to my boss. I was like, look, I'm going for a consultation. I don't really know what they're gonna tell me. They can tell me I need to go under, they can tell me it's not a big deal. Like, I don't know, but this is basically the situation. And he was like, okay, no P. He's like, no problem, just like keep me abreast of the situation. Bear in mind, this is what was it? Yeah, so I had some sick days because of basically the way I had structured myself at this job, I had NYSC days because it was still, I think it was still during my NYSC time, so I didn't work on Fridays because that was my my thumbprinting day, so that wasn't part of my work contract anyways. Every Friday was already a day off, so I was just missing Monday to Thursday, and my hours were already different anyway. So all this happened in London. My whole family is going to Miami for the summer, and I'm like, bruh, a girl needs to go. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I gonna sit here and not go? Yeah, so obviously I have a conversation with my mom, and she's like, okay, you need to sit for 4 weeks anyway and do this exercise. You might as well come with us to Miami to sort out this, and wait out this exercise that you're doing. So I'm like, rah, okay, cool. I go on summer holiday with my siblings. We have the time of our lives. I'm gone for 4 weeks. It is literally like a really good holiday. All within which time I'm checking in with my office. Like, I'm checking in with emails. I'm like still doing some work. I'm like asking if there's anything I can do. You know, like, because I'm getting paid. Like, I'm getting paid to be out of the office. Like, I don't think you understand. It was ridiculous. I was spending my salary while I was away. Like, I was living la vida loca. So I felt guilty. So I would check in and be like, oh, you know, what can I do? Do you guys need help with anything? Like, please let me know, please let me know, please let me know. Because obviously I knew that I was defrauding the company. So like, yeah, okay, sorry. So I had to quickly grab my eyeshadow, my lashes, get that done off camera. So as I was saying, so I went to Miami with my family. At this time, I think I had like a little bit of a following on Instagram. I'm not really sure, but like I wasn't taking the Instagram thing like all that seriously. It was just kind of like a hobby. So I was just posting my pictures, you know, I was daying my day, as they say. Literally minding my business. Like I said, I was still checking in with the office. Now at this point, nobody's saying anything to me about anything. I was like, okay, just, you know, hope you're good, keep safe, you know, see you when you're back. I think my boss had also traveled at the time, so the office was quiet. Everything was cool, Anyway, what then happens was I get back to Lagos and I get back to my office. Now, okay, so bear in mind, I couldn't like hit up my office and be like,
hey, by the way, I'm just gonna spend 4 weeks away from work because the hospital has told me to just like do this exercise and I may or may not need a surgery. So yeah, just like bear with me.
I couldn't say that it was unprofessional, so I just sort of kept with the same story that I had. Was, look, I'm going away to do this thing. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I will literally update you as I know. Today I'm actually wearing my Frame long-lasting matte velvet skin foundation from Frame Beauty. This is in the shade Caramel. I've never actually worn this on camera, so I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. This is actually, I have one that's already open. I don't know why I'm opening a new one. But let's see. Yeah, okay, so anyway, I get back to my office and everybody's being normal, everybody's being like nice, like, oh, how was your trip? I hope you're well. I think I even brought back like chocolates. Like, I was back in the office, like everything was fine. I was back for like 2 weeks, bear in mind, like I was back for a hot minute and nobody said anything to me. Nobody like asked me any questions, nothing. So bear in mind, I'm going about my day, I'm coming into work every day, happy-go-lucky. One day, my head of HR, I actually hated this woman so much. Like, now that I've been away from the job for a couple of years, I can talk about it. I hated her so much. Like, I just felt like she was always so like extra and like, I don't know, I like staff members who are like part of the staff team and not part of the corporate team, and I felt like she was a corporate butt licker. Like, she would, like, if she ever sees this, oh my god, it's gonna be so awkward. But like, I actually felt like she was a corporate butt licker. Like, I just felt like she literally would do anything that the management said, which I understand was her job, don't get me wrong, but like, she couldn't like just see something and let it slide. Like it just wasn't possible. Like, she must share report. And the reason I didn't like her is because there was this one day we were both in the office and I think we had both gone to the toilet. And I held the door open for her and she like slammed the door back in my face. Something happened that made me just feel like this babe was just like doing the most. And I just, from that day on, I just didn't really take to her. Anyway, so she calls me into her office and she's like, oh, you know, how was your trip? I hope everything is well. I was like, yeah, thank you very much. All is good. And she's like, can you please, I need to please have a doctor's note for the time that you were away. so I need you to contact your doctor. And she was like, you were admitted into hospital, right? I panicked and I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, we just need proof of that and confirmation from that from your doctor abroad. Yeah, what? I said, you need what? Because before I left, I asked them, I was like, do you guys need any documentation or anything that I can get from the hospital while I'm there? They were like, no, that's cool. When I get back, you tell me you need a doctor's note. So I wasn't expecting this. Obviously, I was like, fuck, what am I was like, crap, what am I actually gonna do? Like, these guys need a doctor's note from the NHS in the UK. Like, I can't just go to a doctor here and have them lie because I traveled for this. Like, how am I going to do this? So I started doing brain work. I was like, how am I gonna do this? So luckily / unluckily / wittingly, unwittingly, stupid / smart, I don't know what kind of idea I had. But I was like, okay, my boyfriend at the time had a few surgeries on the NHS, and so he had all these admission letters, all these like just all these like letters from the NHS that had been addressed to the house. So the first thing I said was, okay, I was like, you know what, the NHS are going to need to send a letter to my house, and nobody's at home right now to receive the letter. So unfortunately, I was like, yeah, so unfortunately it's going to take me a while to get this doctor's note to you because the NHS don't give out information over the phone for privacy reasons. That was the lie I basically spun. And I used that time to go and brainstorm. I was like, okay, how am I going to get to the bottom of this? Okay, so it was at this moment I realized that I was probably a crook or fraudster in my old life. So what I then did with my brainwave was I took this these NHS letters I said that I had found, and I scanned it onto my work computer. And now my work computer had PDF something that basically had all the features on it, so you could really like edit documents. Guys, I am not encouraging people to do this. Like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. So basically I then copied literally at first I tried to scan it. I don't remember what the issue was, but something just didn't look like authentic enough. So I was like, right, okay, I'm not gonna do this scanning thing. I literally created the document from scratch, and then I think I scanned the stamp. So it was stamped, or I scanned the signature. It sure looked legit, but here's where I made a rookie error. So now everybody in the UK, you have something called an NHS number. And so this is like a social security number. It's basically like linked to you. It's a form of like identification, and the government sort of uses it to know who you are, where you live, like your borough, you know, what doctor and what clinic you can go to, and just things like that. Now I have my own NHS number, but again, in the heat of the moment and when you're panicking, you're not really thinking every single thing through. So I gave in this letter, right? After weeks of like trying to figure it out, I gave in this letter, and it wasn't obviously my NHS number. Now at the time I'm thinking this is fine because NHS does not usually give out information over the phone, so there's no way anybody's going to be able to call and confirm whether or not I was in this hospital, because NHS just don't do that, right? So this is it, I'm good. So I submit my letter with my chest. I'm thinking, yeah, you know, scammed you, gotcha. No. So anyway, I'm living my life thinking all is well. A few weeks go by, nothing comes of it. I'm chilling, I'm going into work every day. Then all of a sudden, right? Okay, so all of a sudden I get this call to the HR's office out of nowhere, and I'm thinking, okay, nothing serious, whatever. And she calls me and she's like, oh, so I just wanted to find out the details about your trip. How long were you away for? How long were you in the hospital for? You know, stuff like that. And I'm thinking, why are you asking me all these questions? Like, I've given you the letter, put it in my file, and let's move on, right? None of the bosses were asking any questions. Everything was calm. So anyway, like, obviously I remember the details of my trip, so I'm telling her, I'm like, okay, I left on this day. Yeah, so as I was saying, I remember the details of my trip, so I was like, oh, I left on this day till this day, blah, 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 blah. And she asks me, she's like, were you in the US at all? I was like, no, I was not in the US. Why? Like, you know, it was such a random question. Like, I wasn't expecting it, so I was like, I don't understand. Like, why would you randomly like ask me that? In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this babe has kind of potentially maybe clocked me, and I need to start thinking of like what I'm gonna say if they nab me, because I've now said I didn't go, and if she, you know, digs into it, she's gonna find out. So fast forward to what I found out when I had even left my job. Turns out this babe was like on my Instagram, so the whole time I was posting while I was away, she was like watching my Instagram like now. And so like for me, it's like I didn't really like, I was still emailing, I was still doing work, and I didn't really affect the company. Like, you could really have just told me off. You didn't need to like elevate it and escalate it to the degree that you did. And I was just like, that's just so annoying, but you know, whatever. So I was like, crap. So I was thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? So I went home and I had a conversation with my mom. I'm like, yo, because I was like, you're the one that told me to follow you guys to America. So this is the situation I'm in my office and at work. What do I do? Like, what do I say? How do I get myself out of this? So eventually my mom and I are discussing, and we're thinking, okay, so what are we gonna do? Now at the time I'm thinking, okay, there's no way of her really knowing. So she asked me if I went to America. I said no. Your word against mine. What's gonna happen, right? Wrong. So I was feeling pretty confident in that sort of being enough. Then turns out what happened was, funny enough, it was just by the grace of God. My brother goes, just check if they stamped your passport. Because I was thinking, okay, they stamp my Nigerian passport when I leave and when I enter the country. But she knows I left the country, so the stamping my passport is not really going to be a thing. And then wait. No, let me backtrack what had actually happened. So the day I was supposed to leave Miami, I had missed my flight. So missing my flight meant that I was gonna get back to my office 2 days later than I had said I was going to. And so what I had basically said to her was, the reason I had missed my flight, there was a reason why I had to delay by literally 2 days. It was a valid, important reason, like why I needed to. I think it was when I had finally gotten back to the UK. When I finally got back to UK, I needed to go back to the hospital to do it. Those 2 days were necessary, but they caused me all of these issues. So I got back to work late by 2 days, and so I sent them an email. You know, the thing is, I don't know how to lie, and when I'm lying, I mess up and I say the most ridiculous and stupid things. That's just the God honest truth. Like, I just say stupid things. So I just basically said to her, I was like, oh, sorry, I can't make it back to work because water spilled on my passport, and Air France, when I got to the airport, Air France didn't let me fly, and I have to get like a proof of something to prove that it's my passport, some documents, that. Obviously, when I sent this email, nobody questioned me. They're like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. You know, hope you get it sorted out. Let us know if we can help you with anything. So obviously, all this now happens, and then this is now fast forward again. I get back to Nige. So at this point, she's already like, so she asked me for even me, so to reciting the story, I was jonesing, like I was just jonesing. She asked me for my passport because she needs to like see she needs to confirm my flight dates, or I guess confirm that I had actually tried. I don't know. She didn't need to confirm shit. She just wanted to catch me out. So she was like, yeah, she needs my passport. And so I go home and I'm like, shake bait. Like, first of all, the Nigerian passport is not damaged. The passport I said was damaged is not damaged. And that's gonna be obvious. And then the second thing was, So the second thing was, when you get into America, they stamp your British passport. Like, they stamp you in. And she wanted to see both my passports. So I was like, oh my bloody god. And I now had to make sure that there were a couple of times. There was a time I had traveled earlier in the year. I had gone to London for 5 days for something. It was during my NYSC time. And basically I said I was doing NYSC and I had actually gone to London. So I also needed that to not be reflected in my passport. But obviously I had immigration stamps proving that I had left the country. You guys, 2017 to like 2019, I was literally I didn't catch cruise, forget. So I was literally doing my own thing. So I was like, okay, crap. These are the reasons why Mans actually needs to destroy this passport, because this baby's asking me for the passport and there's nothing I can do. So basically that's how I decided the passport had to be destroyed, because there was no way I was going to go back to my office after saying the reason I couldn't come back on time was because my passport was destroyed with a passport. Yeah, sorry, my camera battery went kind of iffy. So yeah, that's how I decided it had to be destroyed, because like I said, there was no way I was gonna go back, and I did the whole British passport thing. My mom was HD through it. So to destroy my Nigerian passport, I literally just dropped it in water. I let it soak. I ruffled up the pages just a little bit so it didn't look like I had destroyed it, but I did it in a, I basically went on Google and YouTube, and I watched how to destroy a valuable document to make it look realistic. It was a whole thing. Like, I'm honestly quite ashamed of myself. It's not my proudest moment, but I was like, listen, it's this or lose your job and not be able to catch crews. And listen, in Nigeria, you gotta find a balance. Otherwise, they will find the balance for you, and it won't be a balance that you like. So that's what I did. I basically put it in water. I used a toothbrush, and I handed it into her so that it was destroyed. She was surprised. She was definitely surprised, because she was expecting to catch me out, and I was like, not today, sis. I brought it, now what? Now what? Now what? But anyway, they still did catch me, because she ended up calling the NHS, and they confirmed that I wasn't in the hospital, and that wasn't even my NHS number, and they actually said the name of the person whose NHS number it was, and I was just standing there so embarrassed and so awkward, and it was just so uncomfortable. And I would never do this again. I just won't do it. It's not worth it. But yeah, that was how I destroyed my Nigerian passport. And then I have a vlog about renewing my Nigerian passport. So that was after I had done all the joloffing and I had all the fun, and I had come back to Nigeria. I was like, right, okay, I need a new passport. But luckily for me, my passport was expiring in like 3 months when that happened. So I was gonna have to renew my passport anyway. If my passport was brand new, I probably wouldn't have done it. But Miami was lit. It was so much fun. I had a good time with my family. I think I still went to LA that trip as well. I went to Orlando. I went to Universal Studios. I had a good time, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't really regret it. Like, let me be honest, I don't regret it at all. Okay, so I'm just going to spray my face. And that is the end of my story time. I actually have so many story times of like NYSC, law school, stuff like that. But I've waited a while to do them because I don't want no drama. I didn't want anything to affect my job. I still haven't got my NYSC certificate, so I'm gonna have to wait till that's sorted out to give you my NYSC story time. But yeah, I have a few. I think the next one I'm gonna do is about how I found out my ex was cheating on me on Twitter. That was insane. That was crazy. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of this video. If you've enjoyed the story time, please give it a thumbs up. Sorry if you can hear some background noise. I have tried my best to shut the windows and do whatever. And you can also hear my stomach growling. I'm sorry, I'm going to lunch now, so fill that up. I'm so hungry. But yeah, that is the end of the video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please give it a like, a thumbs up, comment, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my other videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!